his office, he has a safe, and in his safe, he is entrusted with over $40 million in gold bars and over $2 million cash to just hold it, right? I've had people quit and people let go, whatever, and you hang out with them as they gather their stuff and then wish them the best. But you basically stay on their hip until they leave. It's kind of the protocol for pretty much every business. You don't want someone, stealing a laptop or something, right? For whatever reason, whether they let him go, if he had quit, it was time to retire. At no point does someone go, hey, before he leaves, should we do a count on the gold and money? Yeah. Rush is a good guy. He needs 300 kilos of gold. Welcome to Loaded Talk. I am your congressman, third most popular candidate to ever be. I am Frank, and along with me, as always...
What's up, planet Earth? I'm Bean.
He is a full-size bean. He is not a garbanzo bean. He is a pole bean. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder how many different beans you can name, Charlie.
That almost sounded like that one song, He's Going the Distance.
To bean, pole bean. This is what people tune in for, is the bean commentary. My neighbor's actually growing some nice pole beans right now. I'm kind of jealous. Thinking about doing it soon. Maybe some bush beans too. Yeah.
Don't tell the secret.
Oh, Bush's beans? Yeah. I'm not telling. Who do you think killed all of Hillary Clinton's friends? The Bushes.
Awkward.
Right. It's all revenge. It's all revenge for stealing the W's off the keyboards. Isn't that crazy?
That is wild.
And the Clintons were also the first people to try to take all the furniture and stuff. I was like, God, can you be less Arkansas redneck? Please. Just please. It's embarrassing. Especially being from Tennessee. Arkansas is just right over the river there. Can we not? Can we not? I'm standing next to you, okay? Anyway, lots of fun things. Quick show note. It'll be a week break after this, but then we'll be back full strength, stronger than ever, because we're going to be doing lots of steroids and testosterone. So we'll be manly, we'll be hairy, we'll be strong. Okay, speaking of things that make sense, here's a fun article that you shared this morning. This is another one that had a little bit more stuff. Well, this is a bean blast. It doesn't sound like a fart at all. Yeah, you can go back on your son full screen. All right. Former CIA official arrested after feds find $40 million worth of gold bars stashed in his home. So that's something. A former high-ranking CIA official who allegedly lied about his credentials to secure $77,000 in bogus military leave was busted after FBI agents found a mind-blowing fortune, including $40 million worth of gold bars hidden inside his Virginia home. The feds conducted a raid at the residence of David Rush last week. That name sounds familiar. Uncovering a staggering 303 gold bars, $2 million cash, and nearly 3 dozen luxury Rolex watches, according to court documents. Rush, until recently a, quote, senior executive service level employee, so clearly he's, executive or service. He works there at the CIA. He reportedly requested the massive haul of gold and foreign currency for, quote, work-related expenses between November and March. That is 5 months. But just wait, okay? Because you go, that's crazy for work expenses. When the agency conducted a routine audit, the assets were missing from official custody, prompting the director to refer the matter to FBI. Who cares? Before last week's raid, Federal officials checked a storage space in Russia's office. Is he a former CIA? He has an office. Is he a former executive? Because he's got an office.
This is getting weird.
That he used to store work-related funds, but only a portion of the currency he received remained in the storage space. Russia's currently only... Okay. Russia's currently only charged with inflating his college resume and scamming the government out of military leave pay, that was $77,000. After he allegedly falsely claimed to be a member of the Navy Reserve. He was in the Navy. He did not join the reserves. He fabricated a lot of his background and still worked in the CIA forever.
They're like, you're hired.
Yeah. Like, good job lying. He left the Navy in 2015. I guess he's been with the agency since. He claimed to have a mathematics degree from Clemson, electrical engineering from Rensselaer Polytechnic, but neither of those is true. And he said he had certifications from the U.S. Air Force and Naval Test Pilot Schools, but also not true. He's being held in federal custody, which makes me, well, I don't know. But okay. So, they had the gold bars and the cash. So $2 million cash, 303 gold bars. Okay.
So jealous of that.
No, I know, for real. And nearly 3 dozen luxury Rolexes. They said that when they looked in his office's storage thing, that only a portion of the cash was there. So the $2 million in cash and the 303 gold bars is not all that he requested between November and March. And Charlie, he got it.
Yeah, I have so many questions. What? You can get paid in gold bars if you work at the CIA?
I mean, I imagine it's a good way to do untraceable bribes and tomfoolery. You know, like no one's tracking. Well, maybe they are, but just melt it down. Who knows what it is, you know? But I guess if you need to like bribe a warlord or a drug guy or whatever, it's like, here's a gold bar. Foomp, not traceable. Maybe all the Fort Knox gold is just in Langley or wherever CIA is. Yeah, go ahead.
It just says he supposedly requested, like, so he requested it for pay or for an opera. For work-related expenses, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, work-related expenses.
Okay.
So, which means that this senior executive service level employee, so service level, I guess, means in the field.
Yeah,
and
he's a spy.
Yeah. If you're in the field, you're a spy.
Yeah.
And he's an executive level, so that must mean he's not the guy that typically, he runs the team.
Right. He's more informed.
Yeah, he's like, he runs the team of the people doing the stuff. Possibly that means he runs multiple teams at the same time. Maybe in one theater or maybe
with that amount of stash, yeah, it sounds like he is running multiple.
You hope so. Let's see. Yeah, $40 million in gold bars. $40 million. Plus $2 million cash. Okay, so I'm like, look at this picture. He's like, okay, I took it to my house. Well, what about it? So yeah, he can request all this stuff. They have it. They give it to him. And he was able to leave CIA headquarters with 303 gold bars and $2 million cash and bring it to his home.
And some watches.
Yeah, the watches, it's unclear if he bought those with the cash, if he's just a watch guy, bought them with his own money over the years, or, maybe going undercover to be a rich guy.
I think you're right, because it said he requested the gold and foreign currency, but the watches were left out of said request.
Yeah, so I guess they have to count all the cash to find out if anything's missing. But, I mean, it could be, I mean, they could have a props department where you got a bunch of Rolexes and stuff, because if you're going to be a baller, trapping some chic or just interacting in billionaire community. He can't be showing up with a Casio,
Or I know that that's the typical gift. So those may have been gifts for him for doing whatever.
Yeah, no, that's a good point too. Yeah, that could be just things that were given in the line of work that you're supposed to turn in, of course, but you don't. But yeah, okay, 303 days. So let's just call it 300. That would be, if you brought out one bar a day, that would take 10 months. So he had 5 months, so he took out 2 bars a day, maybe.
Well, yeah, but like, what size bars are we talking? Full OZs? Are we talking 50 OZs? What are these?
I think. Let's see. 40 million divided by 303. Where's my phone? How am I gonna have a calculator? What am I doing here? Yeah. I could do that. Yeah. So 40 million divided by 303. So each one, $40 million.
Yeah, so those are more than...
Yeah, 132 grand a bar divided by
4,500, which is an ounce right now.
Something like that, yeah. About 30 ounces.
Okay. Yeah, so that's... Wow. That's heavy.
Times 28 grams. Learning your conversions, people. Wait, 28 grams. No, hold on. How many? Yeah, 28 grams in an ounce, right?
Yeah, 28 point blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, okay. 20 grams an ounce. So, I don't even remember. I was doing that. 821 grams. Okay, so just under a kilo. That's what I was looking at. So, yeah, they're somewhere. Yeah, they're probably around a kilo as a bar.
How are you stashing that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it's a brick, And so, I mean, theoretically, he could take 2 out with him per day, and I guess put it in a briefcase or whatever and be fine. But like, I just imagine that they have cameras that are scanning for all sorts of stuff. But I guess if he's allowed to have it, then he'd be allowed to take it out for operations. I don't know. All I know is they weren't watching him with $40 million in gold bars. And
will gold set off a metal detector though? It's
not a metal detector, but the eye in the sky can scan for all sorts of things and like detect metals. Even if it's not like a metal detector, they can see stuff. See stuff that maybe we can't, or that a normal metal detector doesn't check for, because most people aren't using purely gold guns. One shot starts
just explode.
It just goes. That's wild. But there's got to be something else. I mean, it's just former official, but he has an office. He's a former official. He has an office. In his office, he has a locker or a safe. And in his safe, he is entrusted with over $40 million in gold bars and over $2 million cash to just hold it, right? Now, Charlie, have you ever been... I actually don't know the answer to this. Have you ever been fired from a job?
Yes.
After they said, hey, Charlie, you're fired. Were you allowed to just hang around the building for a while?
Nope.
Did they just walk you out to your car?
Yes.
Did you work for a federal law enforcement agency?
No.
Okay. That's interesting.
Not to my knowledge.
And I've had people quit and people like, oh, whatever. And, you hang out with them as they gather their stuff. And then wish them the best as they head out and say, have a great day. But you basically stay on their hip until they leave, and you go, probably shouldn't come back. You don't say it. You say, I wish you the best and everything moving forward. Out there. Not in here. But no, it's, whether someone chooses to leave or not, like, that's kind of the protocol for pretty much every business. You don't want someone, stealing a laptop or something, right? just because you have to buy a new one if they do it, small business, all that. So I imagine, like, if they were mad at this guy for lying about all his things, they let him go because they go, oh, you're a liar and you stole $77,000 at the CIA. We don't believe in that kind of crime. Not here at the CIA.
That's petty.
Right? It's like, ugh, small potatoes. What kind of psychopath would do something over $77,000? Get the gold bars back. But for whatever reason, whether they let him go, or maybe they said it was a routine audit. So, and they're not even claiming to have fired him. But like if he had quit, it was time to retire. And they go, at no point does someone go, hey, before he leaves, should we do a count on the gold and money? Yeah. Rush is a good guy. Who would want 303 gold bars? Who needs 300 kilos of gold? I mean, it'll be fine. But like, he's a quote unquote a former employee.
Well, yeah, it says recently. So it seems like just from looking at this that he was put on leave while they investigate the bogus military claims and the falsifying.
Where does it say recent?
It says Rush until recently a senior executive.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. And that picture says he is not worried about anything.
He doesn't seem too worried. Because that man, he's like, that's the gold you found.
It's like stashing it in both shoes. You only give him one shoe,
right. He's like, I've got an island. So
awkward.
Different island, guys. Different island. Not our island. I mean, his island. Different. I got my own. Similar operations, but different. Different in Key West. Explore more. How CIA convinced U.S. government to give him 40 million bars as new allegation. Okay, let's see. Breaking news to us, because I didn't research more. I don't want.
Oh my goodness.
I hate the New York Post in so many ways. Like, they've got fun things that they write about, but their website is obnoxious. All right. Yeah. A wannabe spy. I thought he was a senior level. A wannabe spy convinced the CIA to give him 40 million gold bars by claiming it was for... Yeah, we know this. It was just the latest in a career full of increasingly brazen lies, according to federal prosecutors. A series of requests to obtain a significant quantity of foreign currency and hundreds of gold bars between that. Rush received what he asked for. The agency was later unable to locate any record of Rush explaining the work-related purpose. Okay, so he didn't explain it. It sounds like what you're telling me.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, more than 301 kilo bars. We did that with math, Charlie. Take that, education system. Well, I guess we were educated. Anyway, how about this? Take that, kids. Look what you can learn with math. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Don't care about that.
The inflation of precious metals increased the value of his alleged scheme.
Yeah, I'm sure he was stoked. The president was like, wow, it's great to have 300 kilos of gold on me. Okay, let's see. And 3 separate employment applications to join. I don't care about all the falsifies. None of the claims are accurate, but the subterfuge worked for decades. He achieved his dream working at the CIA, where he allegedly continued exaggerating his accomplishments for financial gain. Neighbors who live a few doors down from Russia's $975,000 house in upscale Northern Virginia neighborhood said they could clearly hear the FBI stuff. Okay. So a woman said she had seen Rush and his wife playing with their 2 young kids in the yard sometimes, but they never smoke. Who cares? A loudspeaker, normally quiet. Those are watches. Whoop-de-doo. Who cares? Who cares? In a 2009 form, Rush submitted a request to obtain top secret security clearance with the spy agency. He wrote that he received a BS in math and information systems from Clemson. None of this stuff matters. This is a clickbait headline. Okay, bogus narrative, same application, dubious claims were all uncovered when investigators reviewed his military personnel file and found no evidence he was ever a pilot for the Navy or that he underwent evaluations. Top Gun, federal, okay. That was. God, this website sucks. Jesus. Oh my God. This is the New York Post website is freaking out. I can't look at this thing anymore. CIA confirmed he was employed by the agency that was investigating on Tuesday. Okay, so this didn't tell us anything. Like at all. What was the headline? The headline said how a CIA officer convinced U.S. government to give him $40 million in gold bars. Well, apparently the answer from their research was he asked for it.
Asked for it, and they gave it to him.
I figured they'd give us something. They wrote a whole second article. How he did it. He wrote an email. He did a request form.
I'm literally going home and I'm applying to the CIA so that I can get some gold bars.
The one thing that we get in this is... Well, hold on. It said $2 million in the articles. It said $2 million in cash. I guess it doesn't say what kind of currency it is, because that's the thing. He requested foreign currency. That thing said. So like,
well, the other article said greenbacks.
Did it say greenbacks? Huh. Well,
but
so if you requested foreign currency and got it, and gold and he got it, did he also request U.S. currency and get that? Or is the $2 million cash totally separate from all this?
Oh, my God.
You know? And then calling him a wannabe spy is a little harsh, being a senior executive service level. Blah, blah, blah.
But he also said he had a family, and it's hard to have a family if you're, like, legit, from what I've heard.
It's hard to have a family if you're legit.
Like a legit, like
working for a salary?
Like CIA spy. Like, it's harder to have, to carry that.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I think you'd have to have a very understanding wife. And I guess it depends on what the job is. I'm sure, you know. Yeah. I'm sure it can be difficult. But the fact, they go, like they're not. So, with prosecutors, a lot of times what they do is they'll like overcharge, and then they work their way back. Or they go, okay, we're going to charge you with all these things. And then like evidence doesn't show up for all of it, and you peel stuff back, or, you make a deal. All right, all we'll do is charge you with this one thing. But if you don't sign the plea, we're going to chase all these charges, They're charging him with cheating on his resume and stealing $77,000. But I think you can pay that one back. He's like, here,
Here's a bar.
Yeah. Also, there's a $2 million cash pile. He goes, there you go. But yeah, they're not charging them with like felony theft, burglary, misappropriation of funds, fraud. Because did he fraudulently need all the foreign currency and the gold bars, or did he legitimately need them and then he just took them? And was he stealing them, or is he still in the midst of an operation?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, I'm wondering if we won't know, because if it is for an op, they won't disclose that, or they'll come up with something else,
Yeah, I imagine this is going to just kind of die on the vine. Maybe he'll get a year or something, but maybe he won't serve. He'll get a year deferred, due to his service to the country in both the Navy and the CIA. Although these are egregious violations, and you should never lie on your resume, by paying restitution to the federal government for the $77,000 taken, no other victims, will delay his 1 year, 2 year, 5 year sentence indefinitely, pending he keeps his nose clean, And so you do that kind of thing, and we all just forget about it. But still, like, How much gold does the CIA have? I mean, they got 303 bars at least.
All of Fort Knox is at the CIA.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if was any of this marked with like German flags or any other country, it's just like, here's the gold. It's like, ooh, Google real quick. Let's look up. Just type in how many gold bars does the United States hold? Theoretically, if we actually was holding it, and we didn't rehypothecate all of it. Gold reserves, countries. All right, is this in pounds, I guess? Tons. Okay, well, that's a lot. Yeah, 8,133 tons is a lot. So, yeah, I guess you could pilfer some here and there and not really miss it. 303 kilos. How many kilos are in a pound or vice versa? Is it 2.2?
Hang on a second.
Currently holds. Oops. How much does the government own and where is it? Yep, same thing. Right. Metric tons.
Same.
Most of it's gold, 147.3 million troy ounces. Storage Fort Knox. Yeah. Sure. All right. Well, yeah. We supposedly have lots of gold. So I guess we just pass it around to the CIA whenever they need. I guess. I mean, I don't know. Clearly, I mean, he got what he requested, and he did multiple requests. So it seems like this came in maybe 3 chunks over the 5 months. So let's just say he got 100 bars, 100 kilos of gold every 2 months, give or take. I mean, the CIA has gold storage.
What is he buying,
Well, yeah, I'm sure. I don't wonder how that works on these forms. You go, hey, I need a bunch of foreign currency, like cash. And do they go, oh, who you bribing? Or, you go, yep. It's like, this can be for international operations. They go, okay. I wonder if it's more like that, even like within their buildings. Or if they go, it's for Turkey, at least, or for Operation Midnight Farts.
I bet they want to keep it as vague as possible. Like you said, it's just like, hey, I need it for, whatever.
Work expenses.
Right. Maybe they have like 3 categories,
Yeah. Operational, surveillance. That's probably operational. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But it is wild. That's. I guess we just do that. There needs to be some sort of check on the CIA.
Applying for gold bar manager.
I'm just here to run the stockroom, fellas, with my giant Jankos. It's just what I do. I got deep pockets just because I'm stylish. Clink, clink, clink. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like we should have some sort of auditing power on the CIA. I get international operations involve the need to have international bills, and I get precious metals as well. It's, I guess, just having it that easy to get that much, where you go, okay, so this is just like, y'all just have gold. Y'all just have gold. Or it's like 300 kilos being lent to some dude who you say isn't even all that cool anyway. He's a wannabe. But yeah, sure, we'll hold 300 kilos of gold. Yeah, they have, like, how much, what are they sitting, like, how much do they have? What are they doing? What are they doing? And is this, all the, like, the off-book revenue from, selling coke and all the things that we don't do anymore. does that actually go into CIA coffers? I mean, most of it probably stays in shell corporations and stuff for them to just use, whenever they want without FOIA and without anything else. He goes, oh yeah, that'll be Central Irrigation Associates. Would love to buy a private jet. I don't know. What else you got on that before you?
I don't know. It's an odd one. Part of it, I was thinking maybe this was a way to take focus off the rest of the audit. Maybe that's why he's looking like that. Like he's like, oh, this is nothing. I'm just the fall guy for a distraction for the rest of the gold that the CIA has or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he was like, everybody does it. Also, I wonder. I guess I closed out, but he was kind of looking like this. I wonder if he was worried about this getting a face scan or getting recognized or something, because if you are in the field internationally, I don't know, maybe it has something to do with something. I don't know. It's odd to see a mugshot where they're not forced to look ahead, you don't see it too often. You can see like the eyes down or something, but the face turned, it's just another odd thing. And you're being arrested by the FBI. They're kind of by the book. It's kind of their thing. I mean, not always. There's certain things maybe they color outside the lines. Maybe in Oklahoma City every now and then. Anyway. Okay. So, Iran so far away. The theme has still been, it's continued to weigh true. We're close to a deal. It never happens. We're close to a deal. Iran goes, no, you're not. And they go, yeah, we're very close to a deal. No. And then they go, oh, this is crazy. They go, this is bonkers. They're acting crazy. They alternate between threatening and begging, and it's sad, really, but that's kind of Iran. America would go, no, they're caving. They're in bad shape. It goes back and forth any day. I'm sticking. Oh, can we bet on when the Strait opens on like Kalshi or Poly Market?
Probably.
Because I'm maintaining it's sometime in that lead up to the July 4th weekend. Maybe July 1st or something. I have to... Oh, permit
peace deal.
By July... Yeah, I'd say yes on that one. I want a tighter one, though. I wonder if you can go tighter. Oh, here we go. Hold on.
Straight. Right there.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Continue.
Continuous traffic returns to normal by June 15th.
No.
By the end of June. Nuclear deal.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
Israel closes its airspace.
Don't know what that means either.
Pretty sure it's always closed.
10% chance by June 15th. I agree with that. I would, by end of June. Now that one,
yeah, let me see if there's some...
I think end of June I would take, but let's see a calendar. I need to see a calendar. Let's go over to June. All right. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. 4th of July is a Saturday. End of June. I say yes on end of June. That's when Strait of Hormuz is going to reopen. A deal will be in place right in time for America's birthday. Like I think that's something. I don't think Trump's going to want to go into his big birthday celebration for the country with gas prices at $5 a gallon and everything being crappy and undecided.
39% chance. So
that seems like it would be a good payoff. I might have to open an account. Okay, well, that's what I would do. That's our Polymarket Kalshi ad. We are clearly paid advertisers and not just gambling addicts. Okay. So, The Jerusalem Post says that Iran will not back down from red lines in negotiations, according to their officials. So let me say something. Excuse me. I'm talking too much. This little ad down here, tracking anti-Semitism worldwide. It's crazy. All right. So Iran will not back down from its red lines in negotiations with the U.S. The head of Iranian Parliament's National Security Committee, Ibrahim Azizi, asserted in posts on X/Twitter on Wednesday. He asserted that the red lines include Iran's right to enrich uranium, possess enriched uranium, and manage the Strait of Hormuz, in addition to lifting of all sanctions. He also lashed out at President Trump, claiming that Trump is oscillating between issuing threats and begging for a deal, quote, in order to save himself from the, quote, strategic deadlock that is created by the U.S.-Iran. Thing is, saying Trump's acting crazy, yeah, that's probably, I see that. I can see that.
All the time.
Yeah, especially on truth. I'll bomb you into the 20th century. Peace on earth, goodwill towards man. All right. Earlier on Wednesday, Trump stated that the U.S. would attack Oman if they interfere in operations in the Strait of Hormuz, asserting that it must behave like everybody else or we'll have to blow them up during a cabinet meeting. So anyway, I kind of believe the oscillating Trump claim. He added that the strait will not be controlled by any country, but that the U.S. would watch over it in a very not controlling way. We like ships. It's just a kid in the bathtub playing a little tugboat. Yeah,
he's watching ships. I'm literally picturing that right now. It's hilarious.
Trump in a tub, just like. What are you doing? I'm playing Strait of Hormuz. Come back later. Yeah, he claimed that Iran was keen on reaching a deal with the U.S. Iran is very much intent. They want very much to make a deal. So far, they haven't gotten there, he said, adding, we're not satisfied with it, but we will be. We will be either that or we'll just have to finish the job. We will be either satisfied or we'll have to just finish the job. I guess the job being bombing them into hell.
Yeah, I was like, what is the job?
All right. So basically, I guess that was that. I think one of these websites that had the better article, I think they deleted it, which is unfortunate. So that's, I guess, just par for the course. It's nothing changed. Iran says, yeah, we're gonna enrich uranium. We want nuclear power plants, and for that, we want to be able to hold uranium. And they go out and lift all the sanctions, which I lost it. But they want a big stack of cash from Oman too, I think, or Qatar. I think there's like a $15 billion something. There's some frozen amount of money that is in Qatar. They go, we definitely want that. So I have a feeling that at the end of this, it's going to look a lot like the JCPOA, and Donald Trump's going to fly a pallet of cash to Iran and give it to them. And, and they go, okay. I guess the Ayatollah, Mojtaba, or however you pronounce his name, has been piping up, and he says, hey, we do need to destroy Israel. And so we should do that. They can all go to hell, yada, yada, yada. There was an Israeli foreign minister or something did a reply pretty funny. He replies on Twitter. He's like, I do remember someone else with a similar name saying something similar. Whatever happened to him? And he goes, where are you, by the way? He's like, yeah, run that mouth. We did kill your dad, and you've been hiding the whole time. So why don't you pop up and say hello and say whatever you want to say? We will kill you. Really, at this point, as far as who I believe, whose dad can beat up the other's dad, I mean, at this point, Israel is clearly more capable of taking out Iranian leaders than Iran is taking out Israeli leaders. I think this has been proven. Sometimes they need daddy to do it, which, did we talk about the amount of ordnance that the U.S. has deployed in defending, like literally in the missile defense of Israel compared to what Israel's been using?
Nope.
Shocking. We've been using lots. And they've been using not as much. So they've got their systems. They got a bunch of stuff that they buy from. They buy from us with our money. And we're like, well, just keep your powder dry, folks. We'll take care of it. So now our stockpiles are low, and they have been low. I know I keep hammering this point, but like our dumb ordinance has been, 10 years, like it's depleted. It was depleted to a 10-year replacement level, like a year to. How long has the Ukraine war been going on? 2 years ago, maybe?
Something like that. Yeah.
Like it was over a year ago that the manufacturing capabilities in the United States to replace the dumb ordnance spent in Ukraine was a decade. And I think it was over a year. I think it was 2 years ago. So it's just, we're not doing great as far as what we got. Military industrial complex, they're going to be doing just fine for many, many years. Maybe this will be a blessing in disguise. Here's my rose-colored glasses, Charlie. Sit down. Love thy neighbor. This is what's happening, friends. So, Ukraine, we keep sending them stuff. They're making some stuff, too. So, Russia's fighting, Ukraine's fighting. We're bombing and stopping bombs. And Israel's blasting stuff and stopping blasting stuff. And so, maybe we get through this. We give Iran all the cash or whatever we do. That's winning. We win. We stop that conflict, right? And maybe, Russia ends. Maybe it doesn't end. Maybe Russia, Ukraine go on. But our purchase orders to the military-industrial complex are going to be beefy for a decade plus.
Oh, yeah.
And Israel has to restock too, which is more of our money, same vendors. And then, if we keep sending stuff to Ukraine, that's more there. Maybe we won't have lobbyists pushing for us to get involved with a new war for like a decade. Maybe they'll just be like, look, we're making money hand over fist. We've maxed out capacities. We built a new facility, maxed out those capacities. Maybe this is just we need to refresh the whole stock. Refresh the whole stock.
It's the wildest bright side I've ever heard.
Just no new foreign wars for like a decade or something. Because we've fed the monsters, Charlie. We have generated enough blood to feed the demons that keep this country moving that maybe they take a little demon nap. And then we go, just shh, to the whole globe. Everybody, be quiet. The demons are napping. And so everyone's real good about it. But then, we forget about stuff. So about 10 years go by, and someone's like, hey, have you, buddy? And then, and then we're back at it again. The war pigs.
To piggyback off that, I did read.
War piggyback.
I did read that we canceled the arms deal with Taiwan because we are so depleted. And China's like, excellent.
And we've got a tenuous relationship with Taiwan. We've been trying to walk both sides of the line for too long, and it's, the reality is, outside of straight hypersonic missiles and a huge battery of hypersonic missiles and a willingness to go into total armed conflict, total unarmed conflict, set the hackers loose, set the drones loose, set the sleeper cells loose, and just get down and dirty with China, like for real. Outside of a willingness to do that, there's nothing we can do for Taiwan. China China can they touch it's, if someone wants to take, we go, hey, soon we're gonna take Cuba, and China can't stop us from taking Cuba. Russia, even when Venezuela existed, they're closer than we are to Taiwan. They couldn't stop us from taking Cuba. Cuba's just right there. 90 miles? We're going to take it whenever we want to. And which is apparently soon. We're positioning the Nimitz strike group. Do I have that? Some of my tabs did not switch over. Anyway, there's a strike group, the Nimitz carrier class or carrier strike group. Or is it Nimitz, the name of it?
No, it's the class.
The class, yeah. Anyway, we got some boats. We got some boats in the water. And Cuba doesn't necessarily have power like electricity. And I'd say their military probably isn't very well fed or paid or have power. So I don't know. We're going to do it Venezuela style where we just go in, pluck old Castro out. Because now we have... Oh, did you see that he's been indicted?
I did.
He has broken U.S. law. So now we can arrest him and send him to justice.
Let me guess. It's a gun charge.
That'll be part of it. That'll be part of it. I forget what he did something. He killed somebody, of course, or whatever he did. They did bad things, right? They do bad things. They're not great people. He broke U.S. law somehow. They figured it out. So we're going to do the same thing we do. We're going to spit hood him. Be like, oh, you're going to have your day in court. It's like, okay. The Maduro thing is the damnedest thing because you go, how could you move forward with an actual trial like the gun charge thing? We don't have jurisdiction to enforce that. Most of the things they're charging them with fall outside of any court's jurisdiction.
Any normal court's jurisdiction.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, we're gonna have some terrorist court thing. But I don't know. There's gonna be no. I don't know.
Nobody will know anything except the people that are involved in it.
Maybe we just keep them locked up forever while we have a double. Go through something and see the light and come out and be like, I love America, and Venezuela is in good hands, and Trump is very beautiful. He's a strong man, very beautiful, strong man. Big hands. So anyway, I don't know what's going to happen to that. Cuba, I have a feeling we're going to topple. They're so weak. We'll pick up Castro. We'll go in there and be like, all right, who here doesn't want to be a commie anymore? And people are like, yeah? I go, you're in charge. Okay, fix this place up. But hopefully, it does sound like the younger Castro even is happy to move towards capitalism. It's, Cuba's got that classic vibe, but you don't have lights at night. And that's a new addition, but it's not been great for a while. Lots of people have left and talk about how bad it is. If you become a doctor, they don't let you leave. They don't let you go on vacation. If you're very good at baseball, they watch you like a hawk too. That's Randy Arozarena. He had to, I think he snuck out to Mexico, and then he tried out for professional Mexican baseball, and he didn't have shoes. And so he went to a tryout, and he was basically asked some dude, can we split the cleats? Like, we go back and forth on who uses them, And the guy's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And so Rosarena is very good at baseball, so, all of a sudden he was doing his thing, showing out, and they're like, okay, you got the job. But it took him going to Mexico just to, play baseball to eventually be able to work his way up to America because he was so good in Cuba that they were just like, watch Randy, Anyway, I didn't mean to get into all that. But, so yeah, Iran is still saying death to Israel. And meanwhile, things are going a little weird for Israel.
Israel's like, check your pager.
I mean, for real. All right. But it's not all. Well, we'll let the UN talk for itself. No, come on. I did the wrong button. All right. The UN adds Israeli entities to blacklist of countries that commit sexual violence and exclusive to the Jerusalem Post. The United Nations has added Israeli entities to, yeah, we just said that. This list includes Hamas and other terrorist organizations. The Israel Prison Service will be included on the 2026 list, and other Israeli authorities have entered a monitoring framework for the possibility of future inclusion. So the UN is like, we're not putting all of Israel as an entity that commits sexual violence. Prison system, yes, maybe some other systems. A country or armed group remains on the UN Secretary General's list for a minimum of 1 year. Hamas was added last August. The development follows a report by Pramila Pattern, a UN Special Representative on Sexual Violence and Conflict, which determined that there were reasonable grounds for Hamas to have committed acts of, yeah, we know that. They did all sorts of horrible things, lots of assaults, heavy pressure. So according to Israel, heavy pressure was exerted on UN Secretary General Antonio Gutierrez to include Israel on the list following Hamas's inclusion. So they go, hey, after Hamas is included, they were pressuring them, saying, well, if Hamas is in there, Israel should be too. Last August, Gutierrez, do they spell it differently there? Whatever. Gutierrez placed Israel on notice for potential inclusion in the UN's formal blacklist of parties credibly suspected of committing patterns of sexual violence and armed conflict, citing significant concerns regarding alleged patterns of abuse. Israel has denied the charges. That's what you do. There have been meetings. Israel provided documents, data, and detailed response to all the claims raised in the report and drafts that it received. In addition, Israel invited the UN personnel to visit the sites of alleged atrocities. Like, see, we're not doing it right now. Nevertheless, despite the information provided, Gutierrez has chosen to include Israel on the list. In response, they were freezing relations with the UN Secretary General's office and canceled Pattern's planned visit to Israel. It said it would maintain contact with the UN's office. It would not maintain contact with the UN Secretary General's office as long as Gutierrez heads the organization. Let's see.
We're not talking to you.
I know. The UN Secretary General has put Israel on the same blacklist as Hamas, ISIS, and the most depraved terrorist organizations in the world. Dannon said, this is a moral disgrace and a complete collapse of any credibility left to the UN. Don't get me wrong. The UN has no credibility. But, let's see where it gets fun. Gutierrez chose to ignore the facts and, quote, continue the campaign of incitement and lies against Israel, Dannon said. Anyone who is able to include Israel on the same list as Hamas terrorists and has no sense of morality, he said. Antonio Gutierrez, who justified the October 7th massacre, whitewashed the involvement of the UNRWA employees in the massacre and led the organization to unprecedented lows, using the last months of his term to advance political and false accusations against Israel. So they're saying it's a, quote, last hurrah. He's going to be out soon. You're stuck with it. You're stuck on the list for a year anyway. So it's like bada bing, bada boom, F you, because I guess he just hates them so much that that's what he's doing. But let's see. Yeah, so more than 2 weeks ago, New York Times published a highly controversial op-ed by journalist Nicholas Kristof about the alleged pattern of widespread sexual violence against Palestinian men, women, and even children by Israeli soldiers, settlers, interrogators, and the Shin Bet Internal Secret Agency, and above all, prison guards. So just to be clear, He's accusing a very specific agency and the prison guards of doing these horrible things. He admitted that there's no evidence that Israeli leaders order the assaults. Okay, good. But he said the security apparatus has created a culture in which sexual violence has become one of Israel's standard operating procedures. It was based on conversations with 14 men and women who said they had been assaulted by settlers or members of security forces. One person said that officers forced items up his rectum, and I've seen reports of that with Palestinians or Hamas or whatever prisoners. Some of it has been on video. Like, there's been video. Another Gazan prisoner said he'd been held down, stripped naked, and was blindfolded and handcuffed, and a dog was summoned before it attempted to mount him. U.S. is complicit because of American tax dollars. All right. So Foreign Ministry said the New York Times article was one of the worst blood libels ever to appear in modern press. It is an unfathomable inversion of reality, and through an endless stream of baseless lies, propagandist Nicholas Kristof turns the victim into the accused. It said Israel, whose citizens were the victims of the most horrific sexual crimes committed by Hamas on October 7th, and whose hostages were later subjected to further sexual abuse, is portrayed as the guilty party. They're not saying that that didn't happen. They're just saying that also these other things happen. Now,
Like, you do it too.
yeah. And the thing is, if someone, all right, someone comes and murders your family member, and you go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to track that person down, and I'm going to kill him slowly. You get that instinct, I kind of wish it was legal in the United States, because it seems like you could move things quicker.
I would block off months for that.
You'd have to get a little crazy with it. Secure your spot in hell forever, but, just, peel the skin and all that stuff. So anyway, so saying that, October 7th happened very bad. Lots of bad things happened to people. There were lots of assaults. Lots of pretty girls kidnapped. You can only imagine. Some of them were assaulted before they were kidnapped, and there's video of it. It was horrific. So you could see maybe somebody living there who lived through that, or or whatever, knows someone who knows someone, or what have you, would go, oh, you people, because that's the thing. It's one thing if you've found the guy, like if you go, oh, that's Muhammad, I got him on video doing this to this gal, welcome home, Muhammad, then you do your thing. I don't know if people are crying, but if it's, oh, you people like to do this, do you? Welcome to the jungle, and it seems like some of that's been going on, and that's trying to be as generous as possible to go, they're filled with anger about how their people were treated, and they go, now it's your turn, bud. It's not a crazy thought that likely these young men just playing the odds of the prison guards and the security things, that they're 35 and younger, a couple of old heads and all that, but but the older ones probably still have some aggression issues. It's not crazy to think that they would think this way and that they would do these things. Now, blood libel. This is one of these terms that gets thrown out a lot. It's one of the ways that Israel defenders have overplayed their hand over and over. What is it that you're saying?
I'm just saying the hyphenate gender-based crimes. Like, I don't know that it is gender-specific. I think all genders are all two genders were inclusive.
Let's see. October 7th massacre and against hostages and Hamas captivity found that sexual and gender-based violence was systemic, widespread, and integral to the attack. 2-year independent investigation. Sexual and gender-based crimes committed during the October. I guess because they mainly nabbed gals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming yes, but I've read accounts that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, they nabbed some fellas, too. And
Mess with them.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, the October 7th, it's just like, man.
It was anything goes, pretty much, to me.
Yeah, it was a pillaging of barbaric, as in like times of the barbarians and just barbaric acts. Like it was, it was horrific. We talked about it when it happened, and it was sad and clear what was happening when they first released remember that photo of all the photos of the missing people. And you went, oh, God, like, this is a lot of 20-something-year-old girls. And, it's a lot of pretty girls in here. A lot of missing pretty girls in here. Like, this is not good. Especially, like I said, there's videos of some gals who had been assaulted before they got kidnapped. And, you could tell by unfortunate ways. So, problem is, I'm not saying, yeah, no, I've seen videos that show, officers shoving bayonets up a dude's butt or knives or whatever. And, Hamas is just defending Hamas. You're defending Hamas. It's like, no, they're animals. Like what they did, that was animal behavior. Like the people that did the October 7th attack specifically, horrible people, horrible animals, and like they all deserve to die, So that's so good. And if you caught one of them and you knew he was one that did something to somebody and you wanted to tool him up, I wouldn't cry, But that being said, if you're the good guy, you're not supposed to be sodomizing people with foreign objects.
Or dogs.
Or dogs, or even yourself. Like, you shouldn't do these things. And if you do these things, and you get caught doing these things, and if someone says, you did these things, crying that you're being misrepresented and being hated on is weak sauce. So everything is a blood libel. I've seen Mark Levin call things blood libels. I've seen Ben Shapiro call things blood libels. I've seen Israeli government officials, but I repeat myself, just kidding, call things blood libels. And so I did get curious. I wanted to look it up because I hear it so much that I search it every now and then, and I go, what does this actually mean? So this is a little Google AI answer. A blood libel is a centuries-old, false, anti-Semitic myth that accuses Jewish people of murdering non-Jewish children, particularly Christians, to use their blood for religious rituals. Despite repeated denials by the Jewish community, we're not draining the babies of the blood. We don't want the goy blood. We're not doing it. It's gross. It's not even kosher. And formal repudiations by secular and religious authorities, this baseless conspiracy theory has historically incited mob violence and pogroms. Yeah. I just want to see modern implications. Okay, yeah. So that's a very specific thing, just for fun. But just search pogrom or pogrom. What is it? Is it pogrom?
I think that's right.
Let's just define this thing real quick.
Sorry.
To wreak havoc, to demolish violently. Historically, the term refers to violent attacks by local non-Jewish populations on Jews in the Russian Empire and in other countries. Violent riot incited with the aim of massacring and expelling an ethnic or religious. Okay. Because that's another thing another term that gets used a lot. Like, this is a pogrom against and you go, okay. And I guess, if there is a violent riot or a violent mob, I'll go, okay, fine. But blood libel, this guy wrote an article saying, I talked to these people. Those people said they got stuff shoved up their butts, or they got taken against their will by these people in a sexual manner, or at least a sexual violence manner. What about that has anything to do with drinking Christian baby blood? Or any sort of religious ritual, or any religion whatsoever?
Right. Especially if it's against Hamas. They're not Christian, right?
Well, it said non-Jew, non-Jewish, especially Christian. Like it gets most traction. Ends up if you go, they're stealing Muslim babies and drinking their blood. People go, well, shit happens. But you know, at least over in the West, people get a little bit more excited if they're drinking Christian baby blood.
I guess Hamas's blood isn't as good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hamas.
Sorry. It's just not kosher. So, I guess because there's alleged crimes against children as well, that there's something, but Israel, I don't think their prison system has any rule that you have to be Jewish to work in it. And Israeli has Arabs. It has Jewish people. It's got Christians. It's got atheists. It's got a lot of groups live over in Israel, and so it's clearly someone who's a fan of the country and not a fan of Hamas. But it could be an Arab guy, and it could be a Christian guy, could be whatever. So they just go right into it. They go, well, you're accusing the Jews of doing whatever. You go, hold on. And don't get me wrong. It's a Jewish state. There's a lot of Jewish people there. It's predominant, but still, it's not all. So, just quick to throw it out there. Anytime you criticize Israel, and in this case, for something worth criticizing, and you would think you go like, we find these charges to be horrific. We're going to investigate. If there's anything true to it, the perpetrator will be held accountable. There's no room for this in society. Israel's against this 100%, and we'll root out any bad actors, just a couple of bad apples, And if this is true, we don't think it's true, but if this is true, they're going to feel the force. We're going to get them. Instead of just being like, blood libel. You don't like the Jews. You think we're eating babies. Blood libel.
Like, whoa.
You're like, that accelerated. No one's eating babies, right? Yeah, no one's eating babies. All right, settled that one. I don't know. You got anything on the being on the blacklist or the blood libels?
Yeah, the only thing I would say is there's always a yang to the yang. No one is just gonna sit there and take an atrocity like that. No group, so
like October 7th.
Yeah, like to just be like, yeah, water on the bridge. We're not gonna reciprocate. It's fine.
Yeah,
come on.
Well, it's like when the Guantanamo Bay files came out, and it was like, we're putting ladies' underwear on these dudes' heads and making them do cheerleading pyramids naked or whatever, and they'd be like, oh, look at naked lady, like, oh my god, and we're doing whatever. We're messing with them using what we know about what they find, unclean in their religion. And it's like, let's force it upon them because 9/11 happened, so go F yourself to all of them. I don't believe there was any accusations of sexual assaults on the fellows kept. I don't know for sure. I don't think there were. But either way, when these things came out, You know, they're like, we defend our troops. We'll look into it. I can't imagine, but we'll investigate. And they investigated. And I think maybe some people got a slap on the wrist. Maybe they got punished. I don't know. But they didn't just go, nuh-uh. You go, yeah, look, we got photos and stuff. You go, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, at somebody, you go, couple bad apples. And you just throw, a couple bad apples. That's what they always do. So just going, nope. No bad apples. We've never done anything wrong, ever. And I think that's one of the frustrating things, too, about it, is you just go, like, come on, man. Like, you never did anything wrong. You've never done anything wrong. It's like, no, never. Perfect. Glad we can talk.
I cleared that up.
Yeah. And so, like, anytime something pops up and you go, like, this seems a little weird, they go, no, it's not, actually. We've never done anything wrong. You go, if no matter what, you've never done anything wrong, what's the point of even talking to you? Like, it's not good for building trust. It's not good for building trust. Someone hits you and they go, I didn't do it. You go, I mean, you did. Nope, I didn't. You go, well,
It's just you and I.
yeah, it's like, obviously I can't trust this lunatic. This is a psychopath or a degenerate liar or whatever. Either way, like, this is not someone I can trust moving forward. And I think that's one of the biggest ways that, like, Israel and its defenders have really done a disservice to itself is by just going, just lie and hold the line. No matter what. We've never done anything wrong. Perfect. Okay, good. And that's one of the problems with, like, this post October 7th kind of world where there are so many camera phones and everything, and you can really see what's happening in Gaza, and you go, that's strong. I get getting the bad guys, but did you have to destroy the entire territory? Like, all the buildings had to go? They were all military? Like, and you did drop them, even if you knew families were inside? We warned them they had to get out. We dropped the bomb. We did warn them ahead of time. It's like, yeah, but when they didn't get out, you still dropped the bomb on the women and children. They would have grown up to be Hamas. So no regrets at all. You did nothing wrong. That is correct. Perfect. Glad we talked. And I think that's why things are getting so hollow or falling so hollow is the extent to everything that we can see. And we go, can we get a shred of nuance in this? Just a shred of something that doesn't feel like you are exterminating an entire race of people. Because that's what it feels like. And it's kind of what it looks like. And it's kind of what you say out loud in Hebrew sometimes on the news. And then it gets translated. And people go, hey. Which is another thing that happens that didn't used to happen. Is like, whether it's Russians or Arabs or Israelis, people translate a thing. And they go, here's what he said here. And you go, well, that seems different than what they say to us. Memory, MEMRI, is real good about that with Arab language stuff. I think they mainly do Arab language stuff. But it is pretty interesting because you can just see, like, someone will say whatever they say, and then they turn around and they go, we're definitely going to kill them. We're going to kill them. And you go, oh, a little different than yesterday. All right. That's going to be it for today. Once again, taking next week off so I can do a very important nothing. Follow us on YouTube, on Rumble, on Spotify, on Apple, on Google, on Blitzen, on Dixon and Rudolph. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, share our clips. All these things help us. If you don't help us, you clearly love Hitler. Clearly. All right, what do you got for the people, Charlie?
The Grok fact of the day today, May 28th. In 585 BC, the Greek philosopher Thales, is that how you pronounce it? Thales?
Probably Thales. I don't know.
Accurately predicted a solar eclipse during a fierce battle between the Lydians and the Medes. It is. Both armies were so stunned by the sudden darkness that they immediately declared a truce and made peace.
God was pissed. So he just predicted an eclipse? That's pretty incredible. Seems like he could have communicated that with at least one of the sides of the battle. I think it's going to get dark. Once they're all confused, that's when you do the killing. But, whatever. Maybe he was a scientist and a lover, not a fighter. He was anti-war, Charlie. He predicted the eclipse, but no one could predict the moon when he lifted up his little tunic and showed all the soldiers his white ass to say, time to stop fighting. I just blocked out the sun. I don't know. That's stupid. Okay.